All right, we are live. All right, so man, let's get going, man. Antoine, you brought some clips tonight. Well, you forced me to think really.
Homework.
Hey, you forced me to think really difficult. Not really difficult about this or whatever, but I wanted to make sure that I did the topics that you got some justice. And tonight, we are going to have a little bit of fun, and then we're going to introduce ourselves. For the audience that's tuning in, welcome to Code Talk, the solutions only platform. I'm your host, Victor Vincian, and what you got right here on this panel in front of you is my brother Cavi
What up?
and Antoine Christopher. You know, he's on other artist time today, and our lovely hosts, other co-hosts from our other lives that we do, Miss Ashley Marie. But without further ado, let's get to the first clip.
Do a lot if we really feeling you. It's the ones we don't like. We make them do it all.
So you ain't like your husband.
I ain't trying to embarrass my husband even more on the internet, but he was a simp and I seen the opportunity and I took it.
What I'm saying, what his qualities was.
I mean, for one, he accepted the fact that I have 3 kids.
So you got 3 kids too?
I have 3 children.
And a nigga supposed to come with the bag?
They supposed to come. And that's why you have to have a bag.
Yeah.
Like you got to take care of me and my kids.
So, like you automatically get these responsibilities?
Yes.
Stop playing.
I'm not playing.
And how many niggas doing this?
I have between 2 or 3.
I'm saying, how many have you ran into in life?
Okay, so let's say I run into 100 dudes. Probably about 4 of them.
Yeah, they're about the odds.
Mm-hmm,
I fuck with that now.
Probably about 4 of
they're
them.
about the odds. All right.
I ain't even gonna lie.
Yeah, that's
up the number.
yeah. No, so that kind of sound like you are delusional. You just catching. It's just a sucker born every day.
Basically.
Yeah, because you know what I'm saying. A nigga that's so you ain't never caught no nigga that's worth something doing that though. Am I kidding?
I probably have one. See, the way this game work is you have to get with a man who ain't used to dating bad.
Let's go around the horn on this one right here. Antoine, since you sent that to me, I want you to discuss that.
Well, I'll just say a stereotype starts from somewhere. So don't be mad that it's out there. A stereotype starts from somewhere. That you have to understand. That's what I'm trying to say. Black women could say it's only her and it's only a small minute. That's what's representing you. So when men think twice about you and they don't want to date you, because let's face it, on the statistics, black women are the bottom of the dating pool. I won't even talk about marriage because black women don't get married. Black women have babies. So I ain't going to even talk about that. So when you see things like that, and black women don't come out and say defend it because they say she's got to pay for it somehow, you can't blame men for looking and stereotyping you like that. You have to accept. That's what I'm saying. You have to accept what's given to you. And if that's what's given to you, why wouldn't you go elsewhere and get better? Especially when you have means. Especially when you have means and options. You ain't going for that. She's right. I don't even blame her. She's going to look out for the best for her. And her options besides that guy she was dating was nothing. She was probably hustling until he came along. Because any woman with 3 kids ain't getting a high tier man. Ain't even getting a man with a good 2 morals between his legs or his head. She's not getting that. She's getting baby mama options for 3. And that ain't in demand amongst the men. That is not in demand amongst the men. Is it possible? Sure. Is it probable? Come on. Let's be real. And you got to understand, the only thing that disappoints me is a stereotype starts from somewhere and they have proof. That's all. So you could say what you want. Not all men, not all black women. Doesn't matter. It just takes the one sometimes to represent the many. And that's okay if you think, hey, you know what? That's not true. For you, unless you, and women that defend that, let me tell you something. Unless you're into women, you should care what men think because they are the consumers. So your fellow sister code, you guys can talk and tell each other, don't worry, some guy's gonna come along. I'm not saying a guy won't come along, but what level of man are we talking about? And do you want that man? She is absolutely right within her means, because a man that has more money ain't going for a fat chick the same way. He's not. And he has every right not to. Like she said, she's going for what she can get.
This guy is telling truth, y'all.
And so I don't know. That's why when women talk, I just look at them and I go, do you even qualify for that? You want 100-tier men, 100K man. Yet you don't even know what steps out of those men's cars. And then you don't even know. Like, these are my friends, and I'm looking at you going like, you're 2 tons of fun. It's not going to happen. And I'm not saying women can't get men. I'm talking, I believe in quality women. I believe in marriage. I believe in having a child within a marriage, whether it works or not. It looks better in my eyes if you told me you got divorced. It looks better in my eyes, right?
Yeah.
It really does, because it's like, damn, it didn't work. But you know what? It shows that she could commit. It didn't work out. I don't blame any woman for leaving a cheater. Not at all. What I would not go in between there if a woman cheated on me. I'm not going back in there. No, it's not. I'm nobody's sloppy seconds, right? I work too hard for what I have, and I have options, and I'm glad with that. But you cannot, if women don't come out and speak loudly against this woman, you're just justifying it.
Yep.
That's all you're doing.
Baby.
You could say to me all day long, oh, it's not all women. It's not. No, it's that one. And that's what's representing you. And whether you like it or not, no matter how many black women are out there, it only takes one. And everybody will say, that's you. That's what's out there. It's the same thing. That's all I'm going to say.
What you got, Ashley?
So I like everything. I agree with that commentary. And I will say that when he was talking about, this one representing all, well, yeah, we got the Cardi B's of the world, the Megan Thee Stallions, we got women popping their pussies out. And, that is representative of the black woman. Ain't class and grace and compassion and femininity representative of the black woman. And let's just be honest, pussy sells, all that kind of content sells. And it's interesting because she had said, because I was telling y'all before, we came live here. She said, I don't want to, do my husband dirty more than I already have. Like, because she's probably came on another platform and really just said something similar. But then she goes on and says it. I don't know. Like, if I was this guy, I mean, that's a simp. This is the epitome of she married a simp. Yeah, a simple-minded man, because you got 3 kids. She's over here laughing at you in the public space. It's just, wow.
But it's not. But you
have to be thinking at home. What is in his brain?
I'll tell you what's in his brain. Ashley, I'll tell you what's in his brain. She's the best he can do. That's what's in his brain. She's the best. She's the best he can do.
Damn.
She's the best he can do. Because any man that could do better will do better. But she's the best he can do. So that's why I said I can't blame her. That's exactly what I don't blame her. If I'm a hot tier man, 100%, I'm on the top. I'm looking for the finest, hottest thing. I'm just looking for eye candy and air in your head, because I don't care about nothing else. Because you won't be talking anyways. You'll be having kids. You'll be having kids, and you'll be going to soccer games. You'll be going to the Tupperware parties.
Damn, Antoine.
You ain't saying shit. I don't want you to talk. I don't want you to talk. No, I want you to show me you love me every night in my bedroom. I don't need you to say shit to me.
So yeah. You want an intelligent woman or something?
What? She could be intelligent. What makes a woman intelligent?
You said you don't want her talking. Normally when she's
you won't be talking. Elegant women don't talk. Elegant women talk when they're spoken to. They don't just come out and talk.
Right. But I'm saying you don't want at least have. That's what I'm saying. When she's spoken, when you speak to her, don't you want to talk to her? Don't you want to hear?
Yeah, I'll share things that matter, but she'll never know about business and work, and I don't care. What is she gonna tell me? I'm a better artist? What is she gonna tell me? Well, no, what is she gonna tell me that's gonna entertain me other than what if I'm coming home? Now, in my personal life, she'll probably talk to me. We'll have the house thing.
Yeah.
We'll do all that good stuff in the personal life. Yeah. But in my professional life, I don't need her for nothing. I don't want her working for me. I don't want none of that. I had this before you. I'm gonna have this after you.
Okay.
You don't want
But
to have a decent conversation with your woman, man.
yeah, in my
What you
first,
saying?
I
Yeah,
said,
come on. Hold
did
on,
you guys,
Gabby.
Gabby, did you not hear what I said? Did you guys not hear what I said? I said
I
in
heard
my,
you. I
I
heard you.
said in my personal life.
Your personal life. Okay.
In my personal life, things that matter, things that I need to know about, things that I'm missing. That's my
Yeah.
personal life.
Okay. Okay.
But
Gabby, come on.
she's not gonna go on YouTube. She's not gonna talk to me about her friends. She's not gonna talk to me too. She's not gonna talk to her friends about me. She's not gonna do any of that stuff because she knows how good she's got it, and she knows that on a dime she can be replaced. Right? So she's gonna behave like a woman. She's gonna know her role. I know my role as a man.
Yeah.
She wants a provider. She's got a provider. I mean, she's gonna know her role, but she's definitely not gonna embarrass me in front of friends. She's definitely, if I lie, she's gonna back up my lie and call me out on it later.
I hear that. I hear that.
That's
To
what
be
she's gonna
honest, I
do.
understand.
Come on, Gabby.
Yeah, Jeff Patterson. He in the comments. He said, Antoine, you might as well just get a blow up doll, homie.
You know what? You know what? It's funny you should say that. It's funny you should say that. Men are.
I didn't say it. That's what Jeff Patterson said.
You know what? It's funny. At least a blow up doll can't put you on blast like that on the internet. Men are not stupid anymore. Women need to understand they're making options out there for men.
Right,
the sex industry has jumped because of what's out there. So don't kid yourself when you talk like that. I'm just being realistic. I'll never get it crossed home. When I come home, I'm a husband. I'm not a man in the office. I'm not an artist. I'm a husband.
Right.
Right? Just like when she comes home from being a doctor or a lawyer, she knows right off the bat she's a woman. She ain't that doctor or lawyer. And that's the difference between men and women not communicating and understanding one another.
Mm-hmm.
They forget each other's roles. She will never wear the pants and I will never wear the skirt. I'm not going to be the first one in the kitchen.
Right.
I'm not going to be the first one in the kitchen. I don't want to know what's in the kitchen.
As far as the sister saying that, you know, I think the dude already kind of knows that in the back of his head.
Yeah.
You know, especially if he's a man that really, he doesn't have any kids by her, or he doesn't have any kids himself or anything like that. And he's a single guy and he just happens to get with a woman with 3 kids or whatever. I think in the back of your mind, you kind of ask yourself, would she have dated me before she had them 3 kids? You know what I'm saying? I think men are intelligent enough to ask themselves that question. Do we agree on that?
Yeah.
I said it. He's the best. Yeah. He's the best he can do.
Now, see, that's the thing. I look at the world a totally different way. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm looking at Donald Trump being the president in January, and it's a lot of migrants that's going to have to leave this country. So there's a lot of Latino women and other migrant women that's going to want green cards. So the thing is that he's not limited to just American women. There's a lot of options out here now. You know what I'm saying? So
he is, though. I think what Antoine is saying is he thinks he's limited.
Yeah. He's got low self-esteem, and he possibly thinks that's like Anton said, hey, that's the best I can do, man. You know what I'm saying?
I got in his head. Look what I got next to me when those 3 kids aren't around.
Right. Because she is fine, right? She is fine. She's not an ugly woman. She's fine. So I get that.
Hey, we talking about the lady.
Hold on. Let me introduce. We got Mr. Eugene Alexander.
What's up, Gene? What's going on with your home?
All right, Gene, go ahead and say your piece, bro.
So we talking about this lady, bro.
Yeah, that lady that just came out here and called out her husband, say he was a simp ass nigga.
You know the story. You know the story is fake, though, right?
Huh?
What's that? Repeat that.
We know the story is fake, right?
Is it fake?
Yeah, it's fake.
That's why I love Eugene coming onto the platform. Go ahead and break it down.
I'm curious.
I mean, it's number one. She's a content creator. So
right.
She's doing it to get paid. She made up the whole storyline. And you know, I knew it was a red flag when she said that she had 3 kids. A man married her. He's paying all of the bills, and he's a warehouse manager.
Right.
Because you know, and I'm not job shaming and I'm not income shaming, but we know what a warehouse manager typically makes.
Right.
So there's 3 kids plus her plus him. That's a family of 5 on one income. It wasn't realistic.
Right.
And one of my Facebook friends, knows her personally and been knowing her for like 10 years, and he said it was fake. And he provided me the screenshots. I went and verified it, checked it for myself, and the whole storyline is fake. It's, and it's not. And I'm, not to be bringing up ABC and XYZ in my household, but we make double the amount of the average household income, and we still got bills to pay. So for a one man to be taking care of a single mother of three, come on, man. A warehouse manager is cap. This whole storyline is cap, is fake, and it was just to do it off of views and reaction to get us talking about it, which is making Facebook is the main one making money. Because
Well,
if she got paid 7,000 for it, then social Facebook had to make 700.
well, then I have to, and then it's if it's fake, like you say, because I'm gonna do my homework on it to check out as well what you say. Not that I'm doubting you, but I always
I
believe in
already,
it.
I already got the screenshots. You can go on
You
my
know,
personal page. I already posted it. I
yeah,
already
you can
dropped the
post them in the
receipt.
you can post them in the private chat. What's the name? We'll look at them.
Yeah, I already.
But this is my next argument. Why would a black woman put out something like that, making you look in that light? Like, why
Because
would you do
it's
that?
about money. It's about
No,
money. She
but
made she
listen to
made
what I'm saying.
7,000.
Forget the money part. Forget the money part. Why would you put out content like that that shines light on a black woman like that? Like, there's tons of things you can do to make money. You could
Bro.
put a white guy there. You don't see white people putting something out so trash.
Yeah, I mean,
Trash.
Antoine, I get it. That's how
Okay,
you
good,
think.
good.
That's how you think, right? But that's how me and you think. Cause my media, my brand, my image, my reputation, my family legacy, lineage, all of
Yeah,
that matters to me. And I won't sell myself short. But that don't, just because you won't and I won't, and probably
that's
everybody
my
on here
point.
won't, don't mean other people won't. So
So then
she
you can't
she
blame
did
the image that's out there, right? We have to be
she
fair. You can't blame the image that's out there, right?
right. Yeah, I
Okay,
agree.
good. Okay, as
So
long as you
she
stay along
So
that.
when men don't date women that's got that many kids, we're saying it's more of a financial thing. We're like,
yeah,
okay, we
I
just
mean,
can't
of
we
course,
just can't reach the bar financially to take care of 5 people with our salary. It's not the fact
I,
that she has 3 kids. It's just a financial thing, pretty much.
well, yeah, of course. And she's the main thing is she's not working. It'd be different if she was working and she was taking
Right.
care of all of those 3 kids on her own. And I have seen some men that already had kids, they'll figure how they can maneuver in that situation. But she has to be self-sufficient. But so for a man to come through and she's not working, come on, man, that's cap, bro. That's big cap.
Right. Right.
And I
Right. I
already
get it.
I verified it. It's on my page right now. I'll tag everybody on here. But it's fact. I think Ashley already commented on it. Victor already knows cap. And Antoine and Cavi, y'all just tardy to the party, bro.
Yeah,
No, I don't
definitely,
mind.
definitely. You know what I'm
Like I
saying?
said, I
Nah,
will.
but I do know dudes that were single guys, didn't have any kids, anything like that, and they chose to date women that had 2 or 3 kids. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
Okay.
saying?
that's
However, they didn't take care of everything on their own. She did
right,
have her own. You feel what I'm saying?
right.
So I get what you're saying right there. Just to be the sole provider for 5 different people. Now Dre, he did put up the factory manager in Texas makes nearly $50 an hour and nearly 120K a year. So if you're making 120K a year,
No, they're not making 120K a year.
they
No.
make they make at least a warehouse manager here in Roanoke makes at least 80. They make at least
Yeah,
80, which is
okay.
a pretty good. That's a pretty good living.
That's
You
a
know what
good
I'm saying?
salary.
Because
That's a
everything's
good
cheaper
salary.
here. You know what I'm saying? So if you're making that, yeah, you can take care of that. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
but
saying?
overtime and stuff like that too.
Yeah,
That
yeah. They would have
Right.
to been a warehouse manager for 10 plus years to be doing that. They would have to have some very
Right.
seniority in that position to get that.
And it
You know what
also
I'm saying?
depends on which warehouse you're talking about managing.
Yeah,
If you if
yeah,
you if you're managing a Coca-Cola or managing a Pepsi, something like that, you're gonna be making 80 to 100,000. That's guaranteed. I can tell you that all day.
yeah.
We're talking about Fortune 500, companies. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can make
where,
that.
where where I'm from, a warehouse entry level, 15 an hour. You get bumped up, it's 20 to 25 an hour. It's nowhere that close. You know
Absolutely,
what I'm saying?
absolutely. I get what you're saying. I get what you're
So,
saying.
so
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
yeah,
I'm gonna
definitely
move on
depends
to
on
the
the
next
company.
clip.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So here we go.
My question to you is, when are you going to learn about my culture? And give you an example. You call me fat and ugly in front of people.
Asshole.
What?
I say you ugly, you very bad.
You really said that?
Yeah.
All right. In my culture, in America, that's rude, that's disrespectful, especially when a woman says that about the man that she's with.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes I get in with my kid, my friend, or you ugly, you ding ding khum khum. And we, in Vietnam, my culture is not for rude. But I don't know how is your country, and now you share with me.
We could make, like, if we're alone and we're around family, we could make the jokes like that to each other. But in front of strangers, I'm a guest here. I seen one other person of my skin complexion here in the whole time I've been here. You're not accustomed to us, so when you say it, it sounds like it's an attack. Because we're not light or whatever it may be. I'm already a spectacle. I'm a black man in this country, and they're already looking at me differently because I'm 6'4", I am dark, and when you say, oh, he's ugly, you start feeding the stereotype that if you're light-skinned black, you're prettier versus dark-skinned black. It's very hurtful and disrespectful. People are already looking at me. How am I supposed to feel when you talk in your language and then you go, I say to her, you are ugly. I don't have any context. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know it's a joke. It sounds like it's a fact to you.
Come on, Ashley.
So, first and foremost, he had said, I thought I was on mute. First of all, he had said, when we're in private, you can sit here and joke and say things like that to me. That's red flag number one. And that's simp MO, because in private, in public, ain't no masculine man or desirable man gonna allow any woman to talk down to him like that. Second of all, he had started and led with, when are you gonna learn about, I think, me? And then he went into race. So he already has his own identity issues, if you may, with his own skin tone, with his own race, right? He didn't say you ain't respect me as a man. He wasn't talking about character, right? He wasn't having points on how good of a person he is or what he offers in terms of value intrinsically. He's just talking about a black man, and he's the only guy, besides another guy that looks like him around the neighborhood or area he was in. So he's just attracting this energy because he has low self-esteem, and he's obviously, not confident about himself. Because again, it wasn't character focused at all. It wasn't about who he is as a person at all. And the woman, what kind of this, to me, only low self-esteem would attract a woman that's, oh, I didn't know. Like, she doesn't seem she has a high level of intelligence. You know what I mean? Like,
it's a different culture. It's a different culture, and she kind of made that plain. She was like, in my culture, it's not an insult. Which if you've experienced different cultures, which I know you have, you live in Brooklyn?
I live in Brooklyn, so I've experienced.
Right, yeah, you experienced a lot of cultures, so different cultures, express things different ways. So I can get why she says that. Well, in my culture, it's not a big, it's not a big deal. We call all our husbands ugly over here. You know what I'm saying? And that could possibly be what it is. But I'm agreeing with what you're saying, though, Ash, because you're making a valid point. It's personal issues that he has within himself, because the first thing he went to was dark, because she didn't say anything about him being dark.
Nothing.
She was just like, you're ugly and you're fat. You know what I'm saying? That's all she said, but apparently
to, his skin tone, his ugly
right.
Skin tone.
Right. I see a lot of real dark skinned brothers have a problem with their skin tone. And it's weird because you would only think that would be women that would express that. But I see a whole lot of men that have a problem with a very dark skin tone. Like, I'm dark skinned, but I'm not dark. You know what I'm saying?
I think I'm a little bit darker than you, Kevin. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, go to hell, man. I take my darkness. I take pride in my darkness. Don't make me go out in the sun, bro. Don't make me go out in the sun. I show you.
hey, Kevin, you remember the wood? You remember the wood, bro?
Yeah, I remember the Wood. Yep,
Yeah,
one of
so
my favorite
me,
movies, of course.
yeah,
Yeah,
so me and my homeboy, we did the challenge. You know who could get the most chicks, and he was
yeah,
the
yeah,
light skinned pretty boy. And
yeah.
when I could say I passed and I won with flying colors, you know what I'm
Right,
saying.
right, right,
So
right, right,
I
right,
can tell
right,
you
right.
the dark and chocolate is gonna win every time. You know what I'm
I
saying.
tell, I
So
tell you what, I tell you what, I tell you what, Eugene. Like where I'm from in Roanoke, it's a whole bunch of light skinned people here. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So the light skinned brother possibly would have won here, but go down to Charlotte, and it changes. You know what I'm saying? Go down to South Carolina, it changes. Go down to Florida, it changes. The women down there, down south, prefer darker brothers. They don't want to mess with a really light skinned brother. So the complexion
yeah,
thing is real. Unfortunately, it's still real, and it's
yeah,
crazy. Like
Yeah.
2024, complexion thing is real.
yeah.
Like I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I just never had that complex, man. And I live in a pretty multicultural, diverse area
Where you
because
from originally?
I'm from here, like Killeen. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
I was born in Germany though.
So
You know what I'm saying?
Texas.
Yeah, Texas.
See, that's why you ain't had no problem because them Texas
Yeah,
women they love them dark skinned brothers. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So
yeah.
anything from West Virginia down, they gonna
Look,
like dark skinned brothers.
yeah, look. I ain't even gonna hold you though. I'm gonna tell you, my homeboy, he even had a leg up on me because I had a high school sweetheart. So that was my experience. But when it came to jumping off that porch, I ain't know how valuable I was in the marketplace, you know what I'm saying? Until I put myself out there.
Right,
I'm gonna leave it at that, you know.
right.
But that was, of course, before marriage and stuff. This is a long time ago too.
Long
But
time ago.
yeah, for sure. But I call like, you know, the disrespect. I was telling Vic, man. I've been working with like offshore workers, and every time I had to wind up releasing some of these workers overseas, like in the Philippines.
Right,
The first thing they said was NIGGA. You know what I'm saying? So you know, racism is universal. So for him to go over there trying to be a passport bro without educating him based on the culture, I
right,
mean that's on him.
right.
And you know, and at his age, he got to pay the old man tax. And
You know what, Eugene? You know what,
yeah,
Eugene?
yeah,
You saying some real shit right there because I feel like different races are supposed to be more attracted to their own race.
yeah.
Like because you're familiar with it. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
it is possible
It's
that
proximity.
Yeah, right, that Asian woman did think of him as an ugly woman because if we think about it as black men, right, and y'all can say what the fuck y'all want, we are more attracted to black women than any other women on this fucking earth.
That's who we
Right.
married.
Understand that. You know what I'm saying? Like black
Hmm.
women are the dopest motherfuckers on this earth because they come in every different shape, size, the hair that don't never
Yep.
stay the same, all
Facts.
this shit. Like I could
Did
not
you say
date a
the hair?
woman.
Did you say the hair?
The hair don't never stay the same. The hair always changing, bro.
Their hair, as in the one they buy or the one they have on top of the
The
head?
No,
one they got on top of that. Okay, okay.
Okay,
Now look.
okay.
I got the luxury to saying that I got a wife that's got African, long African, thick, beautiful Claire Huxtable hair. My wife got that. She
Me too.
handed that shit down to my wife. I mean, she handed that shit down to my daughter, and I love that shit. Black women's motherfucking hair, bro. It don't get no better than that shit. It don't get no better than that shit. I couldn't date no woman with no straight ass hair, bro. I couldn't do that. Could you imagine putting your fingers through some straight ass fucking hair? That shit would
Yeah,
that shit
yeah.
would feel so goddamn nasty.
Look,
Feel like you petting a goddamn
hey,
golden retriever.
hey, Kevin.
Yo,
Another thing that a lot of men don't realize. They don't realize too that those women are in other cultures, and you coming over there, they're actually leftovers. They're rejects.
right, absolutely. They
Yeah.
didn't get
So the
picked up by
men,
their own kind, right?
yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
So you coming over there trying to be Captain Save 'em.
mm,
If she with you, you could have actually scooped up five if it was that easy. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, absolutely. So I want to pass this question on to Ashley right here because all of what we just said about how sexy black women are, right?
yes.
Why do y'all have the lowest fucking self-esteem? We don't understand that. Black
Well,
men don't understand that. Why black women got the lowest self-esteem being the baddest motherfuckers walking the goddamn planet? We don't understand that shit. It make me so goddamn mad.
okay, well, let me say. So most of us do come from single mom homes. And I'm just
Okay.
going to speak from that place, right? And because of that, we're still competing with our mothers.
What? Break it down.
So, for instance, my mother would pick on me. She would comment when was a teenager, I had puberty. She would be like, "You pimple face. I have too wide of a back." My mom always picks out something wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she created a low self-esteem, mindset, because negative self-talk when you're talking to a child becomes the beliefs that you carry, right, about yourself, and them things is not good. Like, even working with Victor, coach, I was a slave to vanity,
Okay.
because in essence, when I could look at another woman and I'm trying to see how I can fix her or pick at things, in
Mm-hmm.
essence, I'm still trying to get validation from my mom. So it really boils down to that. Most of us are raised by only our mothers, and our mothers are competing with us. So we just reiterate that low self-esteem moving forward.
Right.
So you
And
telling me that your mother is black mothers are competing
Absolutely.
with their
Black
daughters?
aunts, black mothers, black grandmothers. Like, okay, so this is my hair. All of it is mine, right? And I have European, I have German and Polish, and then I have my black side. When I grew up, I was in New York City. I
Right.
was I was too black to not be able to fit in with the white folk or the Spanish folk, but not black enough to fit in with the black girls because my hair. Because of that alone, I just didn't have a rightful
What?
place.
So you saying your hair was too straight for
Yeah, it was
black people?
fine. It was yeah.
So
And
what would they say to you back in the day, like about your hair?
black women actually would look at my hair. Not that they would say anything negative, but they would literally say, "Oh, you got good hair."
Okay.
So in essence, like, I can't even just be chilling with you. I'm held to this pedestal now. Now we
Right.
talk about insecurity, because anybody, the trigger for insecurity is admiration, praise, or competition. So really, they're insecure and they're saying, "Oh, you got good hair." They're really saying, "You got good hair."
So it's
Now,
not a compliment. It's actually like,
It's a
fuck you, nigga. You
backhanded
got you
compliment.
got good ass fucking hair. Fuck you. I ain't got that.
right. So, and my
Yeah.
daughter, let me say this, and here, she has 4C hairs, real coily and kinky.
Okay.
So that means that her hair is down her back, but when it's dry, it'll shrink an inch. That's how kinky it is, right?
Okay.
So she came to me because she goes to a predominantly white school. She came to me dealing with self-esteem issues because her friends had that long, fine hair. She used to say she didn't feel her hair was beautiful, right? Because again, also representation, like, a black woman that has a certain job, right? She can't come in with her fro and her bigness and her boldness, because black women are big in everything, energetically,
Yes.
with her hair, just everything that she
Main
is.
character energy.
We
So,
love that shit.
so she has to do that down
For
in
yourself.
certain spaces. That's not fully accepted. So it's a whole bunch of things
yeah. Hey,
that
so
tie.
Vic, what
Yeah,
what what Ashley is talking about is what we was discussing before about adverse childhood experiences, ACE, and verbal abuse, and physical abuse, things like that. Actually, is on the list, is one of the 10, which actually is trauma that influences the behavior, and that behavior actually causes the insecurity. So, in regards of Ashley's experience within the African American community, I mean, it's pretty common of that type of experience. Going through therapy myself and taking classes on this subject matter, I thought it was actually, everybody grew up like that, especially like with me growing up in a military family. And all of my friends, we all went through the same type of experience, but it's really not normal. I'm not saying everybody goes through it, but it was pretty common of that type of experience. So that's why you see a lot of black women, they be very attractive, but it all starts in the home.
Hmm.
And I hate to go on a rant, and I'm gonna end it out there here, because I know we have Chris here, and I'm gonna let Chris speak.
we gotta get
But
Antoine to take on it too. Well,
Antoine, yeah, Antoine too, Antoine. And so in regards of the adverse childhood experience, ACE, we was talking about some of the ladies on my page was like, hey, why don't the men step up? And we got all these social programs, and we got all of these things going on in the community, and we need more men. And I was like, no, that's not fair for men having to step up for certain insecurities. Not throwing shade on Ashley, but what happens is sometimes these women's insecurities allow them to go out here and procreate and have a whole bunch of kids, and now they want men to step up, and it's like taking care of your family is good enough. And I just want to put that out there for any man. Don't let nobody shame you in regards to focusing on your family, and that's where I'm at. I think what's going on right now is we really got to identify the trauma which influences the behavior. It starts within the home, and that's where I'm gonna leave it at.
Antoine, what you got?
Well, Jesus, there was so much being said. Where do I begin? I mean, listen. That's funny. It's sad that it seems like all what I've heard is just black people are their own worst enemy right there, right? And you don't have. It seems like you don't have to worry about white supremacy. You guys do just fine within your own. Just fine within your own. You don't need white supremacy because you got the hair thing. You got the insult. Listen. The only racism I experienced is from black people, right? There wasn't a white person that cut off my ponytail when I was younger. I wasn't beaten up by a gang of white people, right? So I get it like that. I see it from Ashley's point of view, and now I kept my hair short for a long time. Then after I got mature, took my classes, I didn't care after that, right? So I'm looking at it from that point of view. When you see it's always you guys say, oh, down in the South, this and light-skinned brothers aren't exactly a commodity. They are. It's just that black people are more racist towards them. That's straight up racism. Because if a white man was to say the shit like that, you would call it out. But it's okay if a black man does it on another black man, no matter what shade. So for me, I look at it like that's the way it is. So you guys are making it worse on yourselves. But don't blame white supremacy when you have supremacy within your own. That's the whole crying game, victimhood mentality shit. I just laugh.
Hey, Antoine, so you're from Trinidad, right?
Yeah.
Well, what is?
And let me tell you something of this. I'm not upset with the Asian woman the way she spoke, because if you heard West Indian women speak on their men, it's hilarious. They cut them to shame, boy. You lucky in the islands if your wife, that for them is like that's how much she loves you. She will cut you down. It's so funny, and it's hilarious to hear these women get together and talk at a cookout about their man. They go in.
I never heard my mom disrespect my daddy because he wasn't playing that, and I ain't
listen.
never had no
The one does not outweigh the many. That's your personal thing. I'm not talking.
Ain't no one, and for myself, ain't no woman ever disrespect me because she getting checked off real. But Antoine, so in Trinidad,
one mic.
No, let him go ahead. I'm done. Let him go ahead. I'm done.
In Trinidad, y'all got, what is it called? Lavendale? Lavendale?
What do you mean Lavendale?
Lavendale, the city in Lavendale.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know the history behind Lavendale?
No.
Okay, so I do because my wife is from Trinidad, like yourself. So Lavendale, when the United States went to war with the British said, hey, some of y'all can actually join us as and help us fight against Americans. And if we win, we're going to give you some acres of land. So what winded up happening, and I'm paraphrasing, so these soldiers winded up joining the British war, fighting against Americans. The British won, and it winded up taking blacks from the United States and putting them over there to Trinidad. So if you know about Lavendale, which is one of the poorest places in Trinidad, they're actually poor because they was dropped off, and that was the first place where they actually started at. So that's where they actually get their history. It's like first company, second company, third company. And it's like the military, for example, how we got first platoon, second platoon. Ain't that right, Victor? First platoon, second platoon, first calf, second calf. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So this is my point with you, Antoine. I want you to answer this question because you're an educated man. Would you go to Lavendale and tell them people that they have a victimhood mentality when
do they have the resources that we have here?
Answer my question. And they do have resources. Would you tell Lavendale? Would you tell people in Trinidad? Why don't you go to Trinidad and tell people in Lavendale that you have a victimhood mentality and you're poor because you're choosing to be poor. Why don't you go there and tell them that?
Are you talking about the ones that have access to the? Are you talking about the ones that have access to the way we have it here? Or are you talking about the ones that don't have access? Which one?
All of them. All of
No,
them.
no. You said I'm
All
being
of them.
specific. No, I'm not. No. We're not going to do that because I don't believe in that victimhood shit, right? I don't believe in it because I was born, compared to them, I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth.
Baby.
And I have no problem saying that.
What's that place?
But are you talking about the ones that have access and don't use it? Or are you talking about the ones that don't have access?
Antoine, he's trying to get some. He's trying to get some.
Hold on, real quick. In Lavendale, which place is the poorest part? Do they all have access to the internet in Lavendale? They all do. Okay, yeah. So everybody in Lavendale has access to the internet, but it's still poor.
Good. So they all have access to the internet, right? That's just one part. I don't believe that, but that's just. I'll go with what you're saying, right? Do they all have resources to get what they need to get from the internet?
Yeah, I mean they got the access, bro.
Okay,
no, they don't have access like we have in America.
Eugene, Cabby, let me go with this.
Okay, go ahead.
This is hilarious. So let me tell you something. I'm speaking on the ones that have access that can do better. I'm not speaking on the ones that don't have access but have no resources to do better. So those are two separate things right there I'm talking about. So if let's talk on that. I'm talking about the ones that have access. It's like the Latin people that come here but don't want to learn English, but yet they offer free classes to take the class, but you still don't want to take the class because you like being illiterate. You don't conform. You don't want to learn the language, but you don't want to take advantage of the resources you have to learn the language. Are we talking like that?
Okay, this is my point. So do
no,
people
wait,
I just want to know this.
No, you're gonna answer my question. You're gonna answer my question.
Do people in Lavendale?
You're gonna answer my question.
Victimhood mentality.
You know what? This is a one-sided conversation. You're not answering my question, bro.
What's the question?
I'm not answering it. No,
what's the question?
No, I'm not. No, go ahead. Go ahead. You're not paying attention. Go ahead.
What's the question?
Go ahead.
Ask your question now.
I'm not doing that.
Eugene, I'm gonna break in here for a second. So what he's asking is, being that Trinidad, which I just looked it up, has a GDP of $27 billion. United States has a GDP of $27 trillion. They don't have the access to wealth as we do. So the thing is that, of course, they're not using it.
Hold up. Trinidad is very unique.
But it don't have 27 trillion dollars GDP though, like we do.
Yeah, they don't have the GDP, but Trinidad
every time. You gotta stop moving the goalposts, man.
I'm not moving the goalposts.
Yes, you are, because you're not answering my question. Cabby gave you something specific. Cabby gave you something specific to speak on, and you keep this. Answer the question.
They don't have the resources, Eugene. Nowhere near.
They do.
Nowhere near.
Yes, they
nowhere
do,
near.
bro.
Nowhere near.
They got the same resources that the Americans have, bro.
I just told you 20. I just told you they have 27 billion. We have 27 trillion.
They have resources.
So the trillion is definitely way more than 27 billion. You know what I'm saying?
Trinidad is 1.1 million. It's not 300 million like the United States.
We're talking about GDP. We're talking about.
Look, so you're doing the GDP, right?
Right.
But the GDP in the United States is based off of 300 million people. Trinidad is 1.1 million. Houston, Texas is bigger than Trinidad.
Even per capita, it's nowhere close.
Jesus, this guy's just making up.
Even per capita, it's nowhere close.
Trinidad is my point is this: the GDP is going to be a lot bigger in the United States versus we're comparing apples to oranges on that. But Trinidad has access to the internet. That's my point.
Okay.
So do people in Trinidad? They have access to the internet. They have water. So do they have
water? I hope so.
Do they have access to water and electricity?
I think this is. Let me break in right here. We're gonna move on to the next.
They have water. Did you hear that? They have water.
Okay, they got water, electricity, and the internet.
Hey,
so do they have the victimhood mentality?
We're gonna move on to the next topic. This is a research.
Muted the mic.
You really muted him, bro.
I will mute mics. Okay, I try to be nice. Y'all see me lean into the camera. Man. Don't play with me.
Yeah.
Okay? We're on to the next one.
Dating in DC is trash. I'm gonna tell you why.
Let me hear it.
Go ahead, Ali. All right, so we went out to 4 different bars yesterday.
Yeah, like lounges. They're all upscale.
All upscale.
Where exactly did you go?
And one thing that we observed is that men want to approach you. They will approach you.
They were gonna approach you
after you pay your tab.
Yeah.
Already I have some thoughts, but I want to let them finish.
It's a weird dating culture here. This is not like in New York. It's not like in Miami, where if men see you, you're beautiful. Can I get you a drink? Can I get you something? Right?
New York and Miami have their issues with dating too, but okay, I'm gonna let you go off. Continue.
Right? It's over here that they want to make conversation, and I do think this is related to being a minority because we are not the beauty standard here. We are not the beauty standard. No.
Where in DC are you going? Cause like, okay, I'm not trying to take from anyone's experience, but I know it's not Chocolate City anymore, but it's still giving a little latte vibes. There's still okay. Just finish.
We went to one lounge in particular. Mm-hmm. There's an energy convention going on. Mm-hmm. A lot of males.
So we're thinking pickings are great. Like we're not gonna have to really pay for anything. Like and these are all men, literally business suits. Like they are all dressed. Like they look like they are, loaded. Like they look like they're very comfortable.
See, now y'all coming off like some scamming ass hoes.
We're wrapping up the night, okay? No one's saying anything. We're just getting stares. And I'm like, well, we're just gonna go then. So we, pretty much the bill comes.
Yes. And then one guy who's been eyeing Mara all night comes over, tells her, "You're so hot."
Okay, I need you to land this plane so we can get to the root of the issue.
And he's like, well, can you stay? Like, I'll get you something top shelf. And I said, well, we're actually about to leave. And we're actually about to close out the tab. So, I mean, if you want to cover this, you can. And if you want us to stay, but if not, like, we're just going to go.
I know exactly the problem. I know exactly where the problem lies. And it's with y'all bitches. And shame on you bitches, because now I got to take up for men this morning. Ugh. The reason why your dating experience, especially in DC, sucks is because you suck as a person. And it's also because you are not putting forth any effort in your dating experience. Peep game, this is how this scenario could have went down. All right, you guys are sitting at the hotel bar. I don't know, Salamander, Waldorf Astoria, Rick's Hotel. I just gave you 3 5-star hotels in DC, okay? You go there with your homegirl. You guys sit at the bar. You order your drinks first for yourselves. Make it cheap because that's what it sounds like you guys are giving. Anywho, you scan the bar, you see a couple of men, someone looks attractive to you, you zone in on them. After about 15, 20 minutes, you ask the bartender, what is that man drinking over there? The bartender tells you and you say, send him another round on me. The man gets the drink, then he looks over, thank you. You know what I'm saying? You go, hey, I hope you're having a lovely evening. Say thank you so much. You guys engage in a little conversation, talk about the cognac or whatever he's drinking. Then he comes over. You're like, oh, what brings you into the city? Are you here locally? Blah, blah, blah. You engage in conversation. You look like you sound interested in him. And then boom, next thing you know, your tab is probably paid. I just gave you free game. How hard was that? It sounds like you weren't interested in dating. You were interested in somebody paying for your tab. Because if you were interested in dating, at what point of this story were you given the vibe that you were engaging in conversation with anybody? You were just sitting at the bar, relying on your looks and hoping that someone was going to come and pay your tab because y'all sound like some broke ass losers.
Ashley,
Damn.
Ashley, I want you to start here.
Damn.
And like we gonna get to the fellas.
You found the upgraded version of what I sent you, bro. That wasn't what I sent you. That was upgraded.
I agree with the woman that had the commentary about the 2 women that went on a date. See, the thing about it is women want 2 types of men in one man. They want the man that'll, basically they can be a baby, be lackadaisy, not do much, that. And then they want the man that's not a yes man, that'll say no, that'll be assertive and all that kind of stuff. So in essence, they want to be codependent, and then they want a certain type of man to, the second man, I'm sorry. They don't want to, they want a feminine man, a yes man, I'm sorry. And what I mean by that is they want to be able to be codependent and lackadaisy when they don't want to be accountable and responsible. And then they also want the ability to be Miss Independent and I'm gonna talk to him any kind of way, and I don't give a fuck what he thinks or says, and I really don't care about him, and I really don't respect him. They want these two types of men in one man. And these women, unfortunately, are showcasing that. You know, I don't think women understand the language of men, too, right? I think they just understand their own subjective, like, means to an end, right? So it's very transactional. And it lacks, see, here's the thing. You have to present yourself in first nonprofit so that you can get a for-profit. That's what the woman that was commenting on was basically saying. Be the woman that's a non-for-profit, so that way you can get a man that's wanting to invest his, and profit, right? An investment in you, whether that be monetary, whether that be time, energy, mental, whatever, sex, whatever. But, there's multiple levels, and I think I've explained them all, but that's how I see that. I think, the woman that commented on that was absolutely right.
Man, great commentary, Ashley. Thank you. I think this is one of those content creators. What I realize on social media now is people make up storylines. So I think this might be another one. With the previous one, I have the receipts. This one,
Yeah.
I just know women that are in DC and they have no issues with drinks and offers. The only issue that they have is just with the right man making a marriage proposal. But they are having, great dating experiences. They just said it's very competitive because a lot of men out there make a lot of money and they have a lot of access. So when it comes to my experience, and me and Vic have talked about this, I just break it down to three things. It's going to be emotional maturity, situational awareness, and having the right expectation management. And if the women have those three things in place, they'll be able to get married in less than 6 months, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this story's fake. I know women in DC, they have no problems with men taking them out, getting drinks or anything else. I think this is just a storyline just for content. That's my 2 cents.
What you got, Chris? Welcome to the panel again.
Go ahead. Let me hear it. I want to hear it.
We can't be this stupid.
We can't, man. We not, man. We're not. We are not this dumb. Sorry, man. We're not this stupid. We're not. That's all I got, man. That's all I got for right now, man. We're not this dumb. We're not this dumb. I'm sorry.
Come on, Antoine.
Listen, we all know that's fake, right? But knowing that it's fake, first of all, no guy's just gonna walk over and pay your $80 or $90 tab just because it said hi to you. So right there, I knew it was fake, right? Secondly, she's going off for pretty privilege because obviously she's going off for pretty privilege, right? So I'm gonna speak from that point of view. She didn't go out to find a husband or the one or anything leading to anything. She went out to get the praise, the likes, the looks, and the guy coming over to court her and all that shit. She went out for the entertainment part of things.
Yeah.
So that being said, I don't blame a pretty girl like her going out and getting the best for what she looks like. I don't, because men go out hot with money, with their Lamborghinis, with their Ferraris to get laid, the best for their options for that night. They're not. You know, a man that's going out for a wife and a man that's going out for entertainment. Let's call it entertainment. So she was speaking on entertainment. She was speaking on, like she said, I'm leaving. Why? Because no guy's going to pay for my drinks. The entertainment has ended. Unless you're paying for the drinks and all that, you're going to get more of my attention. So I understand I'm just going off the clip, even though we know it's fake. I'm just going off what she said.
Yeah.
She has every right. A pretty woman has every right for her best options because a man that's worked his ass off has every right to his option. What's the big deal? As long as you know the cards are on the table. I don't blame a hot woman behind a McDonald's stand looking for the right guy to walk in and take her from behind the counter. I don't blame a woman for doing that. If you're hot and you're fresh,
the difference.
If you're hot and you're fresh and you're qualified for that,
difference between us and them.
Yeah,
we'll take the hot girl that's behind the counter working at McDonald's. We'll do that.
Exactly.
But the main issue is a lot of the perception. I'm not going to say a lot of women do this, a lot of women do that. I'm going to say the perception that media has given men is that women are trying to get the long-term longevity kind of experiences from men looking for entertainment. And then when they do that and they fail, it's everybody's fault.
Right.
I don't pretty privilege is pretty privilege. It is what it is. Just like men with status. It is what it
It's
is.
what it is.
But the issue is they're trying to, the perception is they're trying to get something out of someone that they know they're not going to get it from. And then when that somebody, whether it's a woman with pretty privilege or a dude with some status and some bread, when they not getting what they want, it's everybody else's fault, instead of you not having the right expectations and actually talking to the person that you're talking to and figuring out what it is. This is why I don't like stupid conversations like this, man, because and this is why it makes me angry, because everybody is mixing up expectations, and then they get on social media and scare everybody into being afraid of each other
It's
and not even
fear-mongering.
being able to.
No,
exactly.
wait a minute.
It's fear mongering in the dating scene.
Okay,
These
wait a
conversations
minute.
is dumb.
No, they're not. I'm going to tell you why they're not dumb. First of all, we're all aware on this panel that that's fake. It's very clear. We're speaking in general about what we saw. We're not speaking in reality. Because if it was in reality, nobody's going to film themselves going on a camera and saying how bad it was.
You'd be amazed.
Okay, is it the norm? Is it the norm? Does it happen? Yeah. Is it probable? We don't know. But the fact is, I'm just speaking on that. Are there women out? Take it as a man.
Thank you, Miss Marshall. It's the loud minority.
As a man that's single dating, I've seen it. I do, and that's what I'm trying to say for men. Men want to go out there, right? And they want this woman to be submissive. They want this woman to be this. They want the woman to be that. Meanwhile, they don't have two pennies to rub together. If I'm a hot-looking woman, you think I want you? Why? Just like if I'm not hot, you ain't gonna want me. It's what you qualify for.
Here's that's the thing, Antoine. So
that's what the market is now.
I get what you're saying, but what I think Chris is saying is they're coming on this camera saying that they want more, but they're leading with their transactional energy in the first place. And so it's propaganda. And it's actually, I want you to know this, a lot of people don't have guidance from whether it's their, elders, mom, dad. They have social media and celebrities as the guide. So it's really consequential when you get on these platforms and you speak on this kind of thing, acting victim, but you really never intended to have anything serious in the first place. So it is actually really important. You know what I mean?
Ashley, listen. Ashley, I can't blame if an idiot can't understand the truth. I can't. I'm not worried about you. I'm just speaking on what I see right near. I'm talking about that. I'm not worried about what that clip can do in my life, because it can. I know there's people out there that can get influenced by it.
Imagine how many women, you're a man. You're not as susceptible to emotional manipulation, or obviously not penetration, but you're not susceptible to that. So, and if women are the ones that are putting out there in society what's acceptable, then it's really not all right.
Ashley, I can assure you, as a single man dating, trust me, women are just on hip as the game as me.
And see, me and Vic talked about this.
Come on, Kevin.
Yeah. Me and Vic talked about this earlier. I think Ashley was sitting on here too when we was talking about men figuring out this game, right? Because for so long and for so many years, probably since the beginning of the time, men have seen this pretty woman at the damn, bar, and they went ahead and tricked out on that woman because they wanted something out of it. You know what I'm saying? So when you see women like this, I'm going to say 100% this is true, because I've been seeing too many clips like this. I'm going to tell you why, Antoine, because I've been seeing clips of women. I just said this to Ashley, of women taking video footage of speed dating nights. And there are no men there. Zero. Men have stopped hunting. We are no longer hunting, bro.
Yeah.
It's over. Like this social media shit has changed men mentally, because men are saying to themselves, why am I tricking out on you and paying $80 for you to drink all night, or $100 for you to drink all night, when I'm not going to get anything out of this whole thing, right? They're asking themselves that question now. I'm out of $100 because I wanted to have a conversation with you. You're not gonna go home with me.
Right.
You're not gonna go on. And if you do go on a date with me, you're just gonna eat for free, and I'm gonna spend
And then
$200, $300, and then block me. Exactly. So men are figuring this shit out now, bro. I'm not saying anything against you, Antoine. I'm really not. I'm not saying anything against you. What I'm saying is that men are really. Yes, Lee. What she just said, men have to protect themselves. Men are starting to protect themselves. They're starting to protect their pockets.
The women
I don't
are
know if
getting mad. That's what
say that again, Ashley, because I couldn't hear
women
you.
are getting mad, and that's what that video was about.
Exactly. Women are getting mad now because men are slowing down.
Yeah.
And you
So
know,
I'm
and here's
a,
another part of it, and then I'm gonna shut up. Here's
yeah.
another part of it,
Go
and
ahead.
then I'm gonna shut up. Men are understanding that vagina is important, but it ain't special.
Right. Right.
Especially when a lot of us women are
It ain't
leading with our
special.
vaginas.
Yeah.
Especially when now, what was the quote? Coach, you said something about
That was perfect. When she said that you did that, that shit was perfect.
She said,
you know, because pussy is so, I'm gonna give it out. So it's not really a treasure anymore.
It's not a treasure no more.
For sure. For
It's
sure.
not.
Well,
And to be
hey,
real, that's not all we want unless that's all you got.
right.
Right.
Facts. Now, Cavi, I want to backdoor off of what you said, man.
What's up, bro?
Men are hunting, but not like how it used to be.
There you go.
No.
Like
Right.
Yes,
with social media and dating apps. I mean, all I gotta
Yes.
do is activate my profile, swipe right.
There
You know,
you go.
I don't have to pull up to the bar
Or
Yeah.
deep dive in somebody's DMs.
yes, you know, I could send out 100 messages, guaranteed it's gonna catch married or not. That's how easy it is. So I wouldn't necessarily say not hunting. It's just I don't have to walk up, pay for your drink, and try to
You
impress
don't have to
you.
do that no more.
Right.
Yeah. So men will still take a woman out for the drink, but for you to already be at the bar and already have your tab open, that is less likely for a man to
Likely to
walk up.
happen.
Yeah, walk up and say, "Hey, I'm gonna buy out the bar, or I'm gonna just randomly pay for your tab." Because what is the return on the investment and time on that? Versus, for example, since Ashley's the only woman on the panel, hey Ashley, let's go out for the drink, and Ashley says yes. Then yes, I
Mm-hmm.
invited her out for the drink, and I'll pay for the drink. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
Exactly.
But
but if
see,
Ashley was just at the bar
Right.
by herself, already got a tab open, I don't know her from a can of paint.
Exactly. I agree with that. Like
here's
I would
my
say the
problem
same
with
thing.
here's my problem with the men though.
What?
Here's my problem with the men. We're
Mm-hmm.
not being all the way honest with our intentions either. If we're
True.
being all the way real,
Very true.
a lot of men, like I have no issue walking up to a lady and saying, "Hey, I want to see what you taste like." I have no issue doing that. You understand what I'm saying? Because I don't have an ego and I'm not afraid to take the L. And I'd rather be honest with you straight up instead of trying to fake like I like you and take you on these dates when really I'm just trying to figure out what time it is with you. And I really listen, man. What I've learned is women have to like you to sleep with you. Men have to like you to sleep with you again.
That's true. That's true. Very true.
We're gonna always want to figure out what it is, but if it ain't like but seriously, and that's what it is. And the problem is a lot of dudes don't know how to be all the way honest with the women and their intentions because they're afraid of taking a loss.
Yeah.
You know, that's my motto. Take the L.
Yeah,
Take
That's
the
I
L,
live
yeah.
by
And
that. Take the
I'm-
loss.
Most men are not in that top tier where they have the looks and then the money and all that kind of stuff. And so, you're absolutely right in terms of, you know, women. I think group, you know, it's a small percentage that really gets Regina like that, right? In terms of that, I don't know the percentage, right? But there's a bigger percentage that don't really get a lot of that.
Ashley, I'm asking this question, alluding to what you're saying right there. So, when you say good looking top tier men,
because I ain't none of that.
okay, so the men that I personally know that get a lot of pussy ain't the men. They just got strong game. It's an art. Can we agree to that?
I think I think it's
I want to know what level of woman though.
I think it's an ego.
I'm talking about these dudes. I'm talking about be pulling some badass women, bro.
Cavi, I think this is what it is. I think this is what it is. They don't have an ego, and they're like, I want this, so I'm just gonna go get it. And if she say no, oh well,
right.
Take the L.
I agree.
You understand what I'm saying? Take the L. Go for what you know.
And you know what, Chris? And you know what, Chris? You're 100% right on that, bro. It's the brothers that don't mind taking the L that get the most pussy. They don't care. They just gonna throw it out there.
And the pretty chicks don't get approached as much as the ugly chicks.
That's true.
So,
yeah.
So the man,
let's be real, man. Let's be real.
Come on now.
Let's be real, man. When you see a woman that's less attractive and you trying to have a slow Tuesday, you can walk up to her with anything.
Oh, okay. Right. Oh, okay.
You can't hit a beautiful woman with the same stuff that you hit an ugly girl with. Like
I'm gonna tell you this, and this is my experience. The pretty women that I've been with and the pretty women I know don't get approached as much as the ugly chicks.
Okay. Eugene. So we kind of going black. We kind of going black to white here. We're going straight from pretty to ugly. Yeah. There is that middle ground. They get the most attention. The middle ground. The girls are 7 and 8s get more attention than both of them.
Yeah.
They get more attention than both of them.
All day.
Exactly. You gotta admit, it's the pretty ones don't get approached because a lot more guys are gonna say, "Ooh, I don't know if I did that one."
Right.
Exactly.
And then you got the ones that are pretty and like, well, I know I'm guaranteed that at night. That's
right.
But she look like Bo Jackson, and I ain't trying to fuck that tonight.
I'm gonna tell you though, bro. I got a homegirl, and she on the big side, and she got men in her DMs left and right.
Oh, come on, Eugene. You know the fat ones are. You know the fat ones are always available. They need loving too. And it's not like you're fishing a big fish. I mean, come on now.
She getting 10, 50 DMs, bro.
Exactly. But but I'm talking about if a guy ain't settling down with it. And what kind of guys?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you with that. I agree with you on that.
Listen,
I mean, you know.
Listen.
I mean, geez, man.
I am quoting the legendary Patrice O'Neal. There is a difference between fishing to eat and fishing for prize.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
There is a difference.
So, Chris, what are most men doing? Are they fishing to eat or
the next
fishing to
clip
prize?
is about to tell us about that big
Yeah,
woman.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm moving to the next clip right now.
Okay.
Y'all kick this one to sleep. You know what I'm saying? And to round it out, ugly women don't have the same problems as pretty women. That's just the bottom line.
True or false? When a man isn't financially confident, he tends to go for bigger women.
True.
Explain.
Because you have to look at when I say go for, I mean, I would think the same way. Like if it's a woman who is saying, okay, who can I get something out of? She might choose the guy who might seem more lame, like women don't really approach him. I think people in our nature are predatory in a way. Like when we are looking to gain something, we tend to look for who would be most likely. So to me, if I'm a guy, I just got out of jail, I got probation fees, I need somewhere to stay, I'm not gonna go for a woman who works out 5 days a week and looks good. I'm gonna go for the bigger girl. I'm gonna say, it's more of a chance that she'll be willing to compromise because deep down inside she feels like maybe she has to compensate for the lack of the aesthetics.
Respectfully, that's probably the most ignorant shit I've ever heard in my life, bro. So you think because a woman is plus size or out of shape that her mental and what she accepts in life and what she should be expected to accept in life is less than because
because look what she accepts for herself.
Yes.
That part. Because when you're not working out, you don't have discipline. When you don't eat certain ways, again, it's self-care. So how well of an individual are you if you're overweight? You're wearing your feelings, right? there's lack of discipline, lack of.
You said you wearing your feelings.
Pretty much.
God damn.
That's what no gave me that, but I understood that.
Exactly. Actually, you're 100%. You're 100%.
Oh shit!
Right.
But
It's true.
I'm gonna say that.
Oh my god!
And I've seen this trend happening where I mean six. I think her name is Six the Goddess or something like that. She brought up the men that are on probation that just got out of jail.
Yeah.
And I have seen clips of women waiting outside on release dates for these men.
No.
What type of women though?
The ones on
All types of
love
women.
after lockup. Love after lockup.
Love after lockup. I have
That's-
seen it. Now I am going to say that is a very, very loud minority of it, but I have seen it. Just like, and I used to host parties back in the day. I used to host parties in clubs. I've seen men pick up tabs for beautiful women just to see if they can get some that night. I've seen it.
Listen.
Understand what I'm saying? But it's not something that's happening. It's something that has really died down, especially since the bar and the club scenes have died down. Why do you think why do you think women outnumber us on a massive scale when you go out to a place like that? Because men really ain't going out like that. And if they are going out like that, they going out with their fellas to have a good time. They ain't worried about y'all. Like, for real. Because of the perception that's out here, that's if I talk to you, you either A, gonna embarrass me because I'm not as attractive as you think I should be, or B, you're gonna use me for some drinks and then I'm not gonna get none. So what's the point?
Listen, first of all, women need to know. You know what? It's so easy. Women need to know. Men with status look at your fingernails and we look at your toenails, because we know if you're not taking care of the small stuff, you definitely ain't taking care of the big stuff. We know that right off the bat. Any woman with a chipped nail, I already know. If you can't recognize that, and she has it more than 3 fingers, well, I know that other stuff ain't good. If she has it more than, if the nail is missing and she's okay walking out with it, it's okay. We know we're putting you in that category. But men already know. Looks and height goes out the window when we're standing on our wallets. We already know that in general. We're not stupid to it. But women are not. Women, what's wrong with the women is they're unrealistic for what they qualify for. They want a man making $100K having no knowledge of what type of leg comes out of that car. It ain't the 2 tons of foreign leg.
Antoine, let me respond after Antoine. Now, Antoine, let's be fair. When you look at these women baby daddies, they don't make 100,000 a year.
Exactly.
So they can't. So Antoine, we got to be fair to say that these women really ain't looking for men that make 6 figures because they baby daddies don't reflect that.
Wait a minute, they are now, because all of a sudden they learn from their mistakes.
No, they not.
I agree with Eugene. I agree with Eugene. I agree with Eugene. Eugene is correct.
And what I'm
correct.
saying that Eugene, based off of the perception. That's the perception.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that that's the whole.
It's the loud.
But I'm saying
the lady that made the comment said the loud minority.
That's
all it is.
But the problem is the loud minority have the microphone and the camera right now.
But they don't
and
reflect
that's
the
giving
majority
us
though.
the perception
Yes.
that is the majority.
No,
because
they don't.
because
don't
the
represent
silent
the
majority.
Wait, let me ask you
telling
something.
these loud minorities to shut
Oh,
up.
let Chris finish up. Go ahead.
That's the problem. The problem is the loud minority is speaking for the silent majority, and the silent majority isn't coming out of the box and telling them to shut up.
The fuck up.
Ashley, what do you think about what Chris said?
I agree, and this is what I was saying earlier. It's really consequential when you have the loud minority speaking on these things, because again, you got most Black women, we're just going to stick to this, that are being raised by women. They do not have the objectivity of a man. So they are looking at this, and men that come from single Black mom homes, right, or single mom homes, are also looking at, it's actually very consequential, Eugene, that they are having the mic and speaking on these things. We need people to come out, women particularly, to say, shut the fuck up. That's why I'm here. That's all I got to say.
But I want to ask you
and
too.
that's why you got that shit right now, and that's why when I talk, I'm speaking perception. I know that there are women out there that ain't like this,
Right.
but they standing too close to the hoes and letting the hoes talk for them. You understand what I'm saying? That's it's. I was listening to a live stream, and there was a dude. They played a segment, and his metaphor was perfect. He's basically said, the women are standing too close to the hoes. If you saw 10 lions walking down the street, are you going to walk up to each individual one to see which one ain't going to eat you? Or are you going to get the hell out the way? That's what the men are doing right now. We getting the hell out the way because we don't know what's what. You understand what I'm saying?
I think everybody watching too many, YouTube shorts and Facebook reels. You need to stop doing that because what's going on is that when you watch a reel or you watch a short, that depends on how long you watch it. That intacts with your algorithm. So you're gonna start seeing that same shit over and over and over and over again. So the thing is, they're not standing too close to the hoes. It's just you ain't swiping fast enough. Like for me, like I'm not looking at that shit because I know what's out here. Like I'm not looking at that fantasy shit. That shit don't do nothing for me. You know what I'm saying?
You have a really, really good point, which is why I speak objectively. I haven't been on social media since my birthday last year. You understand what I'm saying? I don't pay much attention to it. I'm just hearing the conversations and I'm hearing the social media talking points that I can't stand them. I don't like social media talking points because that's all they are. Most of the time, these talking points don't even translate into real life.
Nope.
Like they don't. But this is the perception based off of the conversations that I've had with men in the streets or my fellas, or when we all get together and we all talk. This is the perception. You understand what I'm saying? And the perception is trash. And until somebody does something to change the perception, this is going to be our dynamic. And unfortunately, it's going to have to be done on the internet because that's where everybody is gathering to get their confirmation bias.
Right. Tasha K had a source that said that by the year 2050 that everyone would be single. At that point, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna be dead anyway. But what I'm saying is like 2050, like that's crazy. Like to think that people won't even look to marriage anymore. Like people will be so superficial to where they just want to go out here and just be single their whole life. You know what I'm saying? That's a depressing stat.
Right.
From where we're at today, because they said that men 40 and under have, for the most part, checked out. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Cabby, look, hey, we need men like you and men like Vic. I don't know if it's Chris a married man, but we need more men like y'all just leading these conversations because I can tell you right now, at any time being single, you're dealing with being exposed to a STD. You're dealing with unwanted pregnancies and child support. You're dealing with a mentally ill person, or you're dealing with a jealous ex that want to kill you over a woman that he ain't saw in 6 months to a year, but he's mad that you are in the picture now. So the risk versus the reward. And then check this out. The suicide stats with I think 50,000 people committed suicide last year. And I don't quote me on the exact number. That's bigger than my hometown. My population hometown 35,000. So people are checking out, and I know one guy. I don't know him personally, but my best friend, it was her homeboy. He lost his job, went through a hardship, and he bust a move because he had to get some money, had to pay these people back, and he just wound up killing himself. So what the family, the nuclear family, and having a wife mitigates your risk out here in society.
Yes.
And the quickest way to 100,000 is Ashley, you make 60,000, I make 60,000. That's $100,000 a year in the household. And make sure you living off of that one income as best as you can. Of course, you're gonna want to travel and do things like that. But nuclear family has always been best.
That's the way to win. That's the way to win. That's the way to win.
In a utopian world, you are right.
Yeah, but let me ask you guys. You guys aren't in the dating world.
This is not utopia.
Wait, let me ask you something here.
Go
you
ahead.
guys are not in the dating world, right? You guys are not in the dating world. Do you think generally a woman wants to build with a man making 60K today?
Yes.
Yeah, depends on where you at.
Of course.
Okay, Antoine, we are. Hey, Antoine.
Maybe where you're
These
living.
are one of the this is one of these. This is one of these social media talking points that I can't stand.
Where you're living, maybe. I'm not saying that.
Right. There you go.
Women,
there you go.
You have baby mamas out there that want to do better. Why? Because they need a man that can afford to take care of their kid. So they're gonna have to up the game from the guy that gave them that baby. So they're looking to get a higher little stake for their income. You know what I mean? To take care of their
right. Hey, Antoine, I'm 100% behind you. It's like you said. It's like you said. It depends on where you're at. Where I'm at, you can still buy a beautiful house in a beautiful neighborhood for $250,000. You can't do that shit in LA. You know what I'm saying? So that's not even possible in LA.
Right.
You gonna be living next to a goddamn nuclear plant in LA with $257,000.
It's all about where you are, but I'm gonna be real with you. Living in the real world and seeing what's happening in the real world, I've seen people who don't make what social media would claim to be what you necessarily need to maintain. I've seen those people build together and make those moves like they supposed to.
Absolutely.
This is another social media talking point that I can't stand. It's stupid. We're not this dumb.
Facts, Chris. That's what I'm saying.
We're
Chris.
not this dumb.
Yeah,
we know better. We know better.
I see it all the time. You know, look where I live at. The woman must have career, job, car, house, or apartment. They don't care.
But can we speak in general though? We can't. Can we speak in general?
Let me say something. Let me say something right here.
I'll be back.
Let me say this right here. The majority of people are living within the $40,000 to $60,000 income margin. Okay,
right.
And people are still getting married. But what you're speaking on, Antoine, you live in Beverly Hills.
But I'm talking in general. I'm talking in general. Do you think in general?
And I'm saying in general, people are still getting married because the majority of people are looking for somebody that they want compatibility with. Ashley it represents that. She'll work with somebody.
But is Ashley the norm? Who has her own hair? Is Ashley the norm?
Can I speak?
Yeah, come on, Ashley. Yeah, talk about that.
In terms of the norm, I'm the average single Black mother. Okay. So in America, in Black America, right? Here's my thing. A woman does not have the capability of taking on the same level of stress that a man can take on in the workplace. And then have the children she has to take care of as well. So all of that does impact on her body. She also goes through hormonal change. And I say this, and I've said this before, she goes through a lot more in her body than a man does. So when you expect a woman to work the same amount as a man, it's unrealistic. And she has less, I'm going to say this, she has less respect for that man. Now, not every woman applies in this, okay? I'm not generalizing every single person, but usually a woman that has to take care of the bills because she has to compensate for the lack that a man can't, the kind of woman you want is not going to be usually the kind of woman you get, because again, she's not built the same way to take on all of those stresses. So I feel like it's this conversation about 50-50 and all that. I feel like if you want to be in a relationship with someone that has established, woman wanting to be with a man, has established himself in some ways, but merging with him, he's unable to take care of you and your child. Okay. But at least he can take care of himself. So when you're getting into the merging of that, okay, you can maybe start off with 50-50. But eventually, she's not going to want to keep working and then have the responsibility of a man, because I'll tell you this, it's actually easier on me if I don't live with a man than if I do. Because not only am I taking care of the kids, but I got to make sure, he get his head every night. He get certain things, right?
You got that shit right.
Come back just for that.
You got that shit right.
It's a lot more stress on her. So eventually, when she does merge with a man, it is actually to the entire relationship's benefit for her to eventually not have to work at all. She can build with him, but he has to understand the kind of woman he's going to be getting from that. And a man, you're not supposed to be, attracting a man and then he's supporting your burdens. He's supposed to be lifting them off of you eventually, right? Maybe immediately for some cases, but eventually. And we think the standard is 50-50. No, ma'am, no, sir. That is something you build on to get to a place. But see, people are complacent with a woman taking all that on. And that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Well, but in order for a woman to get that, she'd have to be feminine, submissive. She'd have to follow the man's lead. You think generally speaking, women are like that in the Black community? Okay, so then generally speaking, ain't gonna happen, right? Because it's not gonna happen. They're not gonna come together in this fairy tale land. Is what I'm saying. For me, I understand. I am with it. 100%. That's why I separate the two. You will never help me in my profession. Don't want you. Don't need you. I don't need you to tell me I'm a good art. I need you in that kitchen and in that bedroom and taking care of the kids. If you really want it that way. If you really want what you just said, then that whole fairy tale, right?
And you
now,
know,
I don't mind a woman working.
But
I don't mind a woman
don't
working.
They want a man. They want two men and one man. They want the take care of me and I'm helpless, and they don't take any responsibility. So it's hard to do 50-50 with that kind of woman. And then they also want Miss Independent, like she wants to just be independent and then control a man. You can't get everything. You can't get it both ways. You got to decide. Either you're going to be independent or you're going to submit. Right. And you're going to allow a man to take care of you, and that's going to mean he's going to assume some sort of control over you, and control just means protection.
I don't know about that. I didn't even like that word submit. I didn't even like that word submissive. I always told Vic knows me from day one. I never liked that word.
Because that just means they know their place. That's okay.
Knowing your place.
There's power in submission. Don't get
me. I know, but I don't blame a woman for getting triggered hearing that word because men use it today. Men use it today.
That's their problem, not mine.
Yeah, they use it today. I don't like that. I get it. Hey, just like I don't like when a woman says I'm supposed.
Come on, Eugene.
Hey, I'm gonna say this, man. And anybody that's in the military know, man, you gotta compromise, and then after that you gotta give some waivers here and there. I think if more people would just being more, realistic with their situations and their expectations, and had the emotional maturity behind it, nobody would have a problem with dating, relationships, and getting married. But because of these traumas that we have within our childhood, like what Ashley brought up, within her childhood, which made her insecure. And not to pick on Ashley, because Ashley, I have those same childhood experiences. Mine was really high, and I actually come from a 2-parent household. But because my dad came from a family of 10, and his dad was in the military, so he had PTSD, and he passed it on to my dad, and my dad passed it on to me. So, I have those same situations. So I had to go through, I've been going to therapy for 10 years. So my point is, I'm not beating you up. I'm just using you as an example. You know what I'm saying? But we got to give the waivers, man. We got to give the waivers. We got to look at the situation like, hey, it depends on this. You know what I mean? But of course, that's why I'm married. Cavi, he's married, and Vic, he's a married man. And, because we're realistic with when we go into this dating market. And
let me tell y'all niggas what I've seen in different cultures when it come to goddamn marriage and shit like that. I got Latinos living across the street from me. They just purchased that house over there. And they had these 2 big ass maple trees across the motherfucking street. Let me tell y'all motherfuckers something. Y'all motherfuckers keep on talking about this submissive and all this crazy shit like that. These motherfuckers cut these big ass maple trees down. The men were at the top of the goddamn tree, cutting the top all the way to the fucking bottom to the goddamn trunk of that fucking tree. Guess what the women were doing? They wasn't in no fucking house cooking and cleaning and taking care of no goddamn kids. They was hauling that goddamn shit away to the back fucking yard, cutting it up and making it into goddamn firewood. So I don't want to hear no goddamn submissive shit. Motherfucker, it's 50-50, goddamn 50-50. A woman is a man's help fucking meat. And I saw them goddamn like them Latinos winning because of that shit. They winning. They winning because of that shit. Us niggas over here acting dumb as fuck. Like we talking about these goddamn words and shit. We talking about these words and shit. These Latinos over here kicking us in our asses because they know what the fuck to do. Shut the fuck
all
up.
of this yelling. I need you to do me a favor and relax. Breathe for a minute. It's not. See, this is what you're doing right now. You don't even know you muted. You don't even know you muted. Shut up.
Cavi, they can't do it. They can't do it.
Here's Cavi. Cavi.
Put me on goddamn mute. Them Latinos winning.
Would you exactly?
They working together.
Thank you, Vic. Cavi. I agree with you. It's not about 50-50. It's about cohesiveness. They are working together.
Bingo.
It's not and sometimes that man cutting down that tree from the top to the bottom is not the same 50% as her hauling everything away. He did all the heavy lifting. She's doing the cleanup. It's called working together. I don't like the 50-50 conversation either. I think it's fucking stupid. I think it's, and I said this when we were talking last time on the live stream when we were together. I don't think gender roles and I don't think 50-50 should even be in the conversation. It should be shit you good at and shit I'm good at, and we work together to make it work.
That's right. And
most of the time, to keep it real, most of the time when people are talking 50-50, they talking about money. It ain't got nothing to do with actually doing something. It's about bread.
Them Latino women was hauling off big ass fucking trunks, nigga.
And they work.
I agree with you. I agree with you. There are certain cultures that and they working. There are certain cultures that actually know how to work together, and we sitting on the internet bickering about who gonna pay for what.
About nothing.
It's so dumb. It's just
about nothing.
We are not this
stupid, right?
I'm gonna say this until I'm blue in the face. We are not this dumb.
Now let me ask you this: how many of those other marriages where they're working collaboratively in that way, and women are working their asses off and they're doing all this hard labor, how happy are those women?
I've seen them. The same scenario that Cavi's talking about, cutting down a tree. I had a family of Latinos, Mexican family. They pulled up and cut down a tree, and their mom was out there helping.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I'll put up
That's
a tree.
right.
I'll even build up things in the house.
Right.
I like doing things with my hands. It's not like I'm gonna just sit back and be cooking in a kitchen.
How happy? Hold on. How happy do you think a man is working day in and day out?
Hold on, let's talk about it.
Do you think he's just happy to be working and slaving?
Hold on. Again, you're trying to compare a woman.
Okay, Ashley, 2 seconds. Victor, was you happy getting shot and bombed at when you was over there in Iraq and back Afghanistan and Pakistan and Iraq?
No, it wasn't cool. Not at all.
Okay,
Eugene,
so
I'm not happy right now climbing on roofs, fixing satellites, making sure people's TV, internet, and cell phone work.
Still different.
Ashley, go ahead and capture your point, because
I'm trying to figure out what Ashley's trying to say.
This is what I'm trying to say. Okay, y'all are talking about how a woman is capable of doing everything that a man is capable of doing, and so they need to go out and work, and they need to have all that stuff, that hard work, that pressure on their bodies, all this kind of stuff, because we're building. That's okay. There's going to be co-collaborative things that we do. What I am saying is, in terms of the responsibilities of the resources, money and outside of money, that means problem solving. That means collaborating with other people to, build projects and communities and all that kind of stuff. Women are tired of being the head and leading in all of these kinds of ways. And they're really not happy having their own businesses, having to be in charge of negotiating.
Wait, the boss babes aren't happy?
Hold on. They're masculine.
No. The boss babes aren't happy?
They are not actually happy. I talk to women. Okay. I used to be also a quote unquote dating and relationship coach. So these women would come to me, high achieving women. They are tired because at the end of the day, they're not built for that amount of stress. They're
Not
not
according
built
to
the
them.
same kind of way. So y'all talk about military and doing all this kind of stuff. Women are not built that way. So yes, you
In
don't
the
like
military.
it, but
Actually, come on,
imagine a
man.
woman that's not naturally able and capable of holding that weight.
I agree.
Yeah, let
I
me
agree.
interpret.
Come
Let me
on.
interpret, because what I hear is this. You know, women Ashley saying that there are women that are putting on a big front and leading with their ego. Okay, the ones that fit the discussion that she's talking about, right? We all agree that men and women need to work together and do what they do best for the service of the relationship. Okay. That's just really the bottom line of it. You know, the social media commentary that we're, you know what I'm saying, having a discussion around is creating this fear mongering, this all this extra stuff that's not really real. It's not happening at the same way in a committed relationship as it's depicted on across whatever platform that you're using. You know what I'm saying? So I think the bottom line, the reasonable men and women that follow this platform, the disciplined thinking men and women, the emotionally disciplined, the reasonable ones, we know that we need each other. That's just the bottom line, you know what I'm saying, across the board. Because as my man Chris likes to say, we're not this stupid.
We're not this dumb.
Yeah. So I'm gonna move on to the next clip.
Hey Vic, can I backdoor real quick?
Yeah, man. I wanted to say something like that.
I'm done after this. I'm done after this. This is in real estate, you got an old house and you put it on the market, and then you got a new house, you put it on the market, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you made your bid early. Now you trying to change the terms and conditions and trying to say you tired, and now you trying to come over here. That just don't make sense. You made your bid, so you got to understand your situational awareness and have the right expectations, because you cannot be this boss babe. And it's hard for them to even take that attitude and that mindset. And keep in mind, it ain't like they coming into the relationship with a clean bill of health, no baggage, no financial issues, medical issues, and kids. So we have to be realistic. And see, and that's why a lot of women need to be speaking with men, and men need to be speaking with women, so we can have proper yin and yang balance. And that's all I wanted to say. But I'm out, man.
And I'll get back off of what he said. You guys are not being realistic. Women can't go backwards. Women are making money today. Women are working today. Women have solid jobs today. They're making some serious money. Women cannot go backwards to become all of a sudden feminine and submissive.
You teach it,
Antoine. You guys are talking about a woman. Wait. You guys are talking about a woman that's been taking care of herself, that's been building on her own. Now she's looking for a man. She ain't going backwards. She can't all of a sudden turn it off.
That's right.
That's all I'm saying.
That's why they stay single. Usually,
that's why they stay single. So I'm in the dating world. You guys aren't in the dating world. You're talking like this la la land shit. And I'm thinking, like, what are these guys talking about? If you go to the average woman today, the ones that I know that have their shit together, don't need therapy, making good money, they don't go backwards. They don't even want. A man can look at a McDonald's woman. We're good at that because we can mold, build, and all that shit.
Right.
Those women that you want that are level-headed and got their shit together, they ain't looking to build with a man. They don't want to because they're building good by themselves.
But the
you guys really need to get into that. Even if she's making 30,
it has nothing to do with the money that she's making when we're talking about building. It has nothing to do with that. If she wants to build with a man, she needs to be what that man wants.
But women cannot do that.
But it's hard for women to do that. Antoine is just saying it's hard. It's hard.
I completely understand what he's saying.
Is of her achievements.
Right.
She validates herself through her achievements.
And what women are slowly figuring out, is that we don't give a shit.
Exactly. But I'm just saying, like, be realistic and I don't blame a woman that's been taking care, even if she makes 40 grand a year and she's taking care of herself, she's got her little car, she's got her little apartment, she's doing good. She's not gonna all of a sudden turn that off and trust you like that. Like, and why would she? Men ain't shit today, too. The way you guys talk about walking up to a woman and say, I want to get with you. What woman in her right mind will get with a loser like you with that line? They're looking at you like you're yesterday's newspaper.
I don't
Hey,
know.
you are yesterday's news
I don't know about that, Antoine.
I don't know no
See what I'm
woman.
saying?
I
Do you
understand
see
that.
what
I
I'm
don't know
saying?
no woman that's got her shit together that's gonna fall for that lazy ass line. That's like,
Well, here it is.
I love this car. I want it.
Great. Before we do the paperwork, I gotta let you know a few things.
Okay.
This car has had plenty owners in the past.
Okay, that's the pass. What's the mileage?
A lot.
Oh.
But there's good news.
Okay.
This car comes with 2 mini cars, 2 different manufacturers.
Oh wow. So I get 3 cars for the price of 1?
You can say that.
Okay. Do I get to drive them?
Absolutely not. That's very illegal and inappropriate.
But I'm responsible for the gas and maintenance.
Yes.
Can I get the car without the mini cars?
No.
The one with the part of the
Wait. We actually have another car, same model, 1 owner in the past, very few models. No mini cars.
Oh my god, that's beautiful. I want it. Why would anyone in their right mind take the first car? Oh.
Damn.
Oh, that was good.
Damn.
I got
A
nothing.
lot of women disqualify themselves,
there you go.
and they can't ask for certain things because they have already. Here's the thing. That's why I said in the building stage, yes, you have already your baggage. You responsible for that, ma'am. You know what I mean? And so in certain cases, maybe you're not gonna get a full 100% provider. Like, you gotta go with what you can afford.
You gotta go for what you qualify for.
Right.
Look,
Yep.
man, I'm
Like,
not arrogant enough to
you
tell
gotta go for
anybody
what
what
you
they do or don't
qualify for.
qualify for. I'm not arrogant enough to do that. That ain't my lane. But what I will say is they kind of have a point. Kind of have a point.
So I just wanted to play that last clip right there before we get ready to wrap up.
Good.
Yeah, like, hey, you guys did a great job, man. Fielding these clips and stuff, and bringing some context. Shout out to Eugene; he had the bill. But I'm gonna wrap it up with some talking points at the bottom of the screen as they pop up, and these are my thoughts because I let y'all talk. Okay.
Yeah.
These are my thoughts. Sexually undisciplined single parents are simps and pick-me's. Okay.
Hey, that was the topic the whole night.
Hey, look, and a pick-me is a woman that decides to be baby mama number 3 or more.
Oh, wow.
A pick-me talks down on women to get a man's sexual attention. A feminine woman gets a man's attention without talking at all.
There you go.
A pick-me is a woman who bashes men and follows Derek Jackson, Steve Harvey, Ace Metaphor, and any man that bashes men.
Yes.
This goes against the narrative.
A simp talks down on a man to get a woman's attention. A pimp gets a woman's attention without talking at all. A simp chases cat. A pimp controls his appetite for cat. A pimp pays attention to the women around him that surround him. A simp pays for women to surround him with attention.
Wow.
Sexually undisciplined men and women living in lust are pick-me's and simps.
Yes. Woo! That was good. That was good.
I greatly appreciate, you guys handling and fielding these questions. And that was a lot of content for under an hour and 45 minutes so far. So I appreciate Antoine for kind of like, broaching the topic, and then it just kind of expanded. But that was a lot of talking points that were, I found to be very valuable. I hope the audience enjoyed it too and catch it on the replay and stuff. But what do you guys want to say before you close out? I'm gonna give you the floor. I want Ashley to finish out last. Let me get Cavi up here. Let him run his mouth because you know what I'm saying, he was turned up. I know blood pressure came back down.
I was turned up a little bit. I'm sorry. I just watch these Latino people work together and get that shit done, man. And it's a beautiful thing to see. You know what I'm saying? I just been hearing a whole lot of, a lot of people saying, women need to be quiet. Women don't need to talk. And like I always say, men aren't a monolith either. Some men like something a little different. I take my quote from James Brown. What he say? He says, some like them short, some like them tall, some like them fat, skinny legs and all. I like them boss. I like them proud. And when they walk, they know how to draw a crowd. So at the end of the day, men like different things. Some men like women that are boss. They proud of themselves. They like to talk. They like to get that shit off their damn chest because it's some silent motherfuckers that fuck around and have your ass on Maury talking about whose baby is this. You know what I'm saying? You want a woman that's expressing herself, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing that I just want to talk about. But overall, I encourage people who are on social media, stop using these YouTube shorts and reels and stuff. That shit will drive you crazy, because once you get caught in your own algorithm and you get caught in your own world views to where nothing is challenging those views, it drives you crazy. I'm done.
What you got, Chris?
He's muted or what?
No, he's right there.
How come he's talking and not hearing it?
I wasn't talking. I was looking at something.
Oh.
Well, I agree with everything Cavi said, but I'm going to speak to the men. I'm no longer speaking to the women because it seems as though speaking to them does nothing. If you fix the kings, the kingdom falls back in line. Fellas, do not be afraid of the potential loss that you are going to take for being honest about what you want and who you are, because it is okay. You are going to be fine. You're not going to hit every three-pointer you shoot, but you always miss the shots you don't take. Don't be afraid to take the L. That's my final thought.
Come on, Antoine.
I'm going to say this. If you believe social media and you have a brain that you can think for yourself and you believe that shit, that's on you. I'm not even feeling sorry for you. You're just an idiot, right? And you're just an idiot. You're literally an idiot. Because on the internet, everybody makes 100K. I've never met so many people in my life make 100K. I don't even think they know what 100K is monthly. But anyways. But you have to be realistic to what you can get. No matter what level of life you are, you have to be realistic. And if you are realistic in your options and have that communication, have that conversation with your significant other, then you can build. I don't believe in building, period, with anybody. I believe you come together and you make it work. Building, you ain't building me up. I'm not building you up. We're together and we're going to grow together. That's how I look at it. I look at it as I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm bringing to the table. I'm going to tell you exactly the way I like things. You can either take it or leave it. Really don't care, but that's what I'm offering. Just like you're going to tell me your do's and don'ts. What I can tolerate, what I can't tolerate, I'm going to let you know. But men need to understand, you want that woman. You're going to have to court her. You're going to have, if you want that beautiful, you're going to have to court her. You're going to have to spend. You got to be realistic that, you know what, you ask her out for dinner, you're going to have to pay the bill. Or don't ask her, because then you can't afford it. And the same thing with the women. You want that 100K man, you got to lose the weight. You got to lose the ratchetness. You got to actually be feminine. Yeah. You got to actually qualify for that 100K man. And if you want that 100K man, just know it comes with consequences because he has options. So you always going to have to be on your game. If you want the average guy, that's great too. Now, I don't blame a beautiful woman for wanting a top tier man. She's earned it. She looks hot. And that's what he wants, a trophy wife. But if that's what he wants, a trophy wife. But either way, he's going to get what he wants because he has those options. So women need to be realistic in what they can get. Just look in the mirror. It'll tell you. Don't let your friends tell you because you look hot with your friends. Look in the mirror. And if you don't have it now, you'll never have it because that's what you qualify for. That guy that's hitting on you, that's the guy you qualify for. That man that's right next to you as your boyfriend, that's the best you can do. Don't try to leave him and go for something better. That's the best you can do. So men and women need to understand this. Just like you go to a place that you can afford to eat at. It's like a restaurant. The same thing. You go to a place where you can afford to eat at. Once in a while, you treat yourself and you go to that 5-star restaurant. But you're not coming home with the waitress that works there. And the same thing for women. You know what you qualify for. How do you know? Because of the type of men you're attracting. That's it. There's no other thing. And baby mamas, get baby mama options. Because generally speaking, no man wants to take care of another man's mistake. And if you get one, keep him. Because he's rare. He's very rare. So you have to be realistic to that. Could it happen? Possibly. Will it happen? Probably not. That's all I'm going to say.
I love that. Listen, y'all, I'm keeping it short and sweet. Simps are yes men, pick-me's are yes women. They both settle. Have a standard outside of social media, and the first stop is accountable masculinity.
Hey.
Yes.
Hey. All right. Let me see what I got to say. So, hey, I greatly appreciate, everybody's contribution to the panel. It was a lot of content for the amount of clips and everybody keeping it concise. Appreciate the razzle dazzle from Cavi tonight. And I just want to say that you can only have the relationship that you can afford, and it has nothing to do with money. We have to talk about character at some point. And if we're going to talk about correcting society and who's going to take responsibility for it, then it's going to take accountable masculinity to get it done. Okay. Because no matter how it works, men are going to be held liable for whatever standard it is. And you picked them and you picked her. And so at some point, take ownership and get out of the blame game. We are all victims of circumstance, but you have to take ownership of your circumstance. So on that note, I want to say good night to the panel. See you guys backstage.
Yes.
And, to the audience, tune in next week.